Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Sartorial Talks. Hello, Hugo.
Hey, darling, how do you do?
Fine. You're going to be joining me today in discussing something that I haven't seen discussed a lot, and that is the subject of how we feel in our suits in the mid-2020s. Mm-hmm. You know, we could go back in time and look at pre-pandemic when even in the tech industry, there was like a pushback if anyone showed up to work in a suit.
It was called peer pressure. We discussed this in a podcast, and we wrote a lot about that. You wrote an article about peer pressure and how people can receive criticism just because they wanted to dress well, or the way they wanted to dress. It's kind of sad, actually.
It was, but you know, things started to change because after the pandemic, people were dressing pretty much how they wanted. Sometimes they would dress the top half, not dress the bottom half, or not dress at all, turn the camera off. There were all kinds of things that went on during the pandemic.
You mean for Zoom meetings or stuff like that?
For Zoom meetings, exactly. Mm-hmm. But then after the pandemic, there was almost a hunger to return to having a sense of elegance in the way we present ourselves. I know a lot of the event industry came back to life, and a lot of people started wanting to dress up again. Yeah, we
can testify that because we have a lot of friends, specifically in America. I remember one of our good friends, it's called Scarpe di Bianco, is a very famous shoemaker. It's distributed mainly in the US. I think William White is from Canada. And I remember him just after COVID, we were speaking together on the phone because we're in contact with many makers around the world constantly. He said, I can't believe it, Hugo. Just after pandemic, I sold so much dress shoes as if people needed this celebration idea. You know, let's celebrate the idea of being allowed to be together again. So it was really a push for us and for our industry.
Exactly. But something different happened. Mm-hmm. You know, people started wearing suits again, but they did not want to look like that 1980s corporate man. And there was almost like a paranoia in the sense of looking too old-fashioned or trite. And we saw in our industry, and you know, I study probably hundreds of images a day.
That's true.
Of people wearing suits. So I feel like I'm very in touch with the community. So I saw this new creativity come into place. I'm not talking about the creativity we saw back in the early days of Pitti with people wearing bizarre things and almost lit up like a Christmas tree. No, I'm talking about a very sophisticated creativity, which leads us to the subject. The real subject of today's talk is 12 ways that we can become current in the way we suit up to be relevant in the mid-2020s.
When you said people were afraid of looking like, a banker from the 80s or a car salesman from the 90s, and actually this is, people try to escape archetypes. You know, for a lot of people who are not educated in the sartorial world, they look at a tie like an archetype. You know, are you from the past, or you look like a banker or an insurance broker or whatever kind of thing. And I think this is a wrong way to look at things because, first of all, this is the past. And secondly, there are many, many ways to upgrade your suiting, specifically not to look like an old-fashioned guy from the past, but you can modernize a little bit, and I guess that's the subject of our talk.
Yeah, well put. Thank you. And you know, the first thing that I noticed after studying many, many images and trying to get a grasp on how men are presenting themselves so well these days. And so I saw many examples of men bringing up to date the look of the suit simply by wearing separates instead of a suit with the same fabric and the jacket, same fabric.
Well, not exactly my style, as you know. I rarely wear an odd jacket with an odd pants because I'm so in love with my suits. But yes, I agree with you. I would analyze this both ways. First of all, it can be a way to not look like your banker from the 80s. Okay, I agree with that. But also, it may be also a good entry door for the people who are not used to wear suits.
That's a good
point.
And
they can start with an odd jacket, a beautiful tweed jacket, or a blue blazer with a gray chino even. And I think there's even a third reason is about the casual Friday. A lot of people are wearing, in some professions, their suits all week long. And then on Friday, they go more toward a blazer and a pair of chinos. So, of course, it's maybe a more modern tux, but it requires a little bit more education to make it right, because you are playing with two different kinds of patterns sometimes. are two different kinds of colors, so it requires that you develop your taste to make it well.
And I remember what forced you
Yes.
to try separates.
Yeah.
Instead of, do you remember that?
Yeah. It's my, I bought a suit at Chiffonelli Bespoke in 2000, I would say 8, something like that. Double-breasted, blue, dark blue, navy blue, actually, beautiful suit. And then after 10 years of loyal services, I've been wearing, it was a part of my first suits, so I wore it a lot. And then the trousers were finished. I mean, after 10 years, they really totally torn, how do you say it?
Broken,
torn,
or ripped.
And then I came back to Chiffonelli and I said, okay, can you make me another pair of trousers with this very fabric? And the resident says, I'm sorry, you go, it's not easy. But I say, it's just a blue, and even have the name of the bunch. It was at Drappers, if I remember well. But he said, yeah, but you can't really find the exact same blue 10 years later, because it's all about the dyeing process. It's an artisanal high-level fabric, and you can't exactly find the same. So
it is hard to match fabrics,
it's
for sure.
very difficult.
Unless you have the lot number or you reserve some fabric.
Yes, and on top of that, that's lead to first advice is that always do 2 trousers when you do a suit. But that's
and if you can't do 2 trousers, get a cut of the fabric for future trousers.
Yes,
right?
but even if you have the cut of the, you mean cut of the fabric
the cut of the actual fabric.
But me, I wanted to have, and he said, no, it's impossible to have the exact same. Right. So he advised me to change the button and to transform. And
explain why you would change the buttons on a navy blue suit coat.
I was about to say to transform it into a blazer.
Yes.
So when you have a navy blue jacket, it's easy to transform it into a blazer just by changing the button. And so I put on metal buttons and it became a blazer. And so I was literally forced into a jacket, but now I love it because I wear it a lot with some flannel pants.
Exactly. When I look at the images, especially on Instagram, I'm seeing a lot of separates with solid colors. We're not seeing a lot of patterns mixed with a solid trouser. It's literally solid on solid. And of course, in your case, using a blue blazer, I think you combined it with white trousers.
White, I would say off-white, flannel trousers, gray flannel trousers. Well, with a blue blazer, gray is a winning bet all the time, and it's very class.
That's right. Okay, so we have the first step to becoming more modern in the way you wear a suit, which is use separates in your wardrobe. Okay, automatically you're going to feel more modernized, okay?
Yeah. It doesn't mean you get rid of suits, right? It's
you can
introduce
keep your
odd jacket and odd pants in your wardrobe.
Yeah, and I want to show a lot of the traditional suits up on the screen that are still super current and look fabulous on people who know how to wear them well. But look on your social media, you'll see a big shift toward wearing separates, usually solid on solid. Okay, so easy enough, right?
Very easy.
Okay, next step to becoming more modern in the mid-2020s, and that is a signature pair of glasses. So a signature pair of glasses can automatically up your elegance factor.
Yes.
It can automatically bring power to your look.
Yes.
And you have a perfect example. Well, I'm wearing Benet glasses as well, but you are as well. When you got these glasses, I think you automatically saw some kind of elevation in your look. And I don't know if you feel the same way.
Well, there's something very particular about glasses is that those ones are tortoiseshell glasses. Sonya is also bespoke glasses by the same house, Baudet in Paris. If you follow Sartorial Talks, you know Baudet glasses is the Everest of spectacle makers, bespoke spectacle makers in the world. But the thing is that when I was talking with Baudet, they say there's something odd. There's something very strange in the world of men's style. People spend hundreds of hours choosing fabric. They spend hundreds of hours choosing their shoes, their shirts, and then they know their size. They are measured and they know their size. I know my size in shoes. I know my size in jacket, but I don't know my size in glasses.
So you actually have sizes with glasses.
Well, this is why Bonnet is doing bespoke, because every face is different. Every face is non-symmetrical. And a lot of people, they spend so much time about their hair, about their skin, about their outfit, but what lays in the middle of your face? Right there. The first thing people see about you is your spectacles or your glasses. And what is very odd is that people, even if they are extremely advanced, sartorially speaking, they accept if their glasses are a little bit like that.
That's true.
No, exactly.
Not as much anymore.
I've seen so many teachers with their glasses like that.
A lot of people do that.
Yes.
With the little small glasses down on the nose.
Yes.
This is aging you 15 years immediately.
Exactly. That's Frank Bonnet from the Bonnet House. He made a little test with me. He said, okay, Hugo, here you are. If you do this, you're 10 years older. Immediately.
That's right.
You know?
That's
so
right.
it means that glasses, and specifically signature glasses, can really upgrade, and it's a fantastic way to express your personality. So stop forgetting about glasses or spectacles. I'm a little bit addicted now. I have 6 or 7 pairs.
You have a lot. You do.
I love it.
Yeah,
because
me too.
Depending on the mood, it creates something totally different. It's in the middle of the face, literally.
And my impression is it brings strength to your overall look.
Yes.
And I love that.
And by the way, we see better.
And you see better.
Which
actually I should know my prescription, but I don't. I don't know if you do. But yeah, that's another thing
but
to
it's
know.
written on a card.
It is.
My glassmaker knows my
know.
prescription. But about the size, I wanted to say that people, they don't care if the size of the glasses, it's totally right or not. Half a millimeter on the pair of glasses changes everything.
Yeah, and Bonnet even said ideally your eyes would be centered in the middle of the glass frame.
Exactly.
Sorry for the microphone. But yes, that's a good point to know. There's a lot of things that you can just learn and pick up in a few minutes and apply, and wow, really elevates your total
look. And I've seen people who were literally invisible and going to Bonnet, having a pair of bespoke glasses. We say Bonnet because it's our supplier, but it can be anywhere else, and good glass makers. It changes everything. Yeah, all of a sudden, this man was visible. You know, he was somebody else, literally, and it gave him, I remember one guy specifically, gave him a lot of confidence. That's a very good point, darling.
So recap, wear separate, wear a nice signature pair of eyeglasses. You've already updated your look.
Absolutely.
The third thing you can do, very simple, I'm sure a lot of you have already seen it, is add a little bulk to your shoe. And when I say add bulk, I'm speaking specifically to the sole of your shoe. Even John Lobb, who is ultra-conservative, they actually now have loafers that have volume around.
By the way, it was not planned, but I just received. I just went up. We cut the camera. I went up because I didn't know she was going to talk about that, and I received a pair that is a perfect illustration of what you're saying.
It's Justin's.
Hello, Justin. I received it yesterday, actually. Look at that. So that's a pair of classic shoe. It's a single monk, a beautiful shoe, by the way, and with a Vibram sole. It's maybe a Denite or a Vibram, one or the other, which are the reference sole. So you see, this is the modern take on shoes. A lot of people are buying dress shoes like that, but to be more comfortable and maybe more urban, we can say that.
Urban is
more
a good way
modern
to describe
and urban.
It, yes.
They are these very comfortable soles. And this is the solution. So many people say, what do I do with my sole, my leather sole? I'm afraid, to damage them, etc. With this, you have no problem.
Yes.
Comfort, and it adds a little bit of something.
It adds some flair, and it brings you into the current times.
Yeah. For me, it's probably like 10% of my shoe collection, not more, because I love my leather shoes, of course, with leather soles. But this is very beautiful. And we received at that table 7e largeur. As John Lobb is doing a loafer with a very chunky sole.
Yes.
And you know what?
What?
It works.
It does. It looks very modern.
It looks very modern. Yeah. And also it opens the door to younger generation, to the real shoes. Because they feel that it can be some kind of a sneaker feel, but having real dress shoes. And I think it's a fantastic progress.
Yes,
for the shoe industry.
That's
a very good idea, darling.
Oh, great. Okay, next one is a secret weapon you can have when you're outside. You're in your suit. You've incorporated the 3 things we just discussed, but maybe you're feeling a little overdressed at the moment, and you just want to tone it down.
Okay.
Well, you can do something very simple to tone down your look and look super casual immediately, and that is have a cap nearby. Now,
you mean a hat?
A cap.
Specifically a cap.
A sports cap.
Okay.
Yes.
No, you see, not a boy cap like the Irish. You mean a golf cap?
A real sports cap, like a baseball cap.
Oh wow.
Yes, and you do this. We got caps
recently
at Sanab, so don't act
we
surprised.
Do this.
But you love your cap now, and it literally can be something to just tone down the mood when you're in a situation and you don't want to look completely suited in whatever type of social environment you're in at the moment. You put the cap on, you're immediately up to date, and you immediately put everyone at ease.
Yeah, problem is there's cap and caps. There's caps. Don't wear a stupid...
There's tacky caps and nice
I'm sorry
caps.
for you guys, but we're not speaking about the Brave of Atlanta caps or this kind of advertising for a sport.
As long as it's subtle, you can.
Yeah, but we are talking about something, for example, the one we are wearing me is more like a cashmere pattern. And, well, one little comment on that. I would do this very easily with an overcoat, very easily with a blazer, a little bit less easily with a tie. In my opinion, if you put on a cap to tone down your outfit, don't mix it with a tie. But it's just my sensitivity.
It's just you. That's just you. But, I'll show some examples, and people can decide for themselves.
Really?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay. So, because if I put on a cap and a tie, I look like a rowing guy or cricket player.
Oh, that's fun. But I didn't realize that was your perception. But people can decide for themselves. If it's
so you're not speaking about hats. You're speaking about caps specifically.
Specifically caps.
This is something new, and I didn't want to try this. And Sinabre in Paris, I can tell, offered me a cap to try, and I wear it almost every day these days.
Yes, casually. Yes, you love
exactly.
it. You love it.
That's a good idea.
All right. Next thing is very subtle. And, you've heard people say that the devil's in the details. Okay. Just small little things that you can do that really make an impact on your overall look. And in this situation, we've talked about wearing separates. We've talked about the eyeglasses. We've talked about the cap to tone down your look. Now we're going to speak about a wink to ivy. And this is just bringing your look more current for the mid-2020s. And when I say...
A wink to Ivy League, you
yes,
mean?
Ivy
Ivy Prep style.
Ivy Prep.
Okay.
And we're talking about doing very simple things. You do something that is a wink to Ivy Prep that you may not even realize.
I don't remember that. I have no idea.
It's actually your colored watch band. You can wear a red watch band. Yours is an interesting shade of blue. You can wear a green watch band. It really brings things up to the current times. It's interesting to see how something small can make such a big difference. Of other examples, we have, remember the Go to Hell pants?
Yes.
There's some really strong... pants
it's
that
really
make a statement.
Go to hell pants. Yeah,
yes,
for sure.
That is another thing that can actually bring you more up to date. Even though it's a traditional look that is considered prep ivy, it's always current. You see these English men who wear the shock yellow trousers with a nice blue blazer, and they always look up to date. Yeah. And that was just something that also occurred to me.
That's not that easy, the last point.
The shock yellow?
I think... a colored, how do you call this, wristband for your watch, that's for sure. Look at this watch. It's a vintage watch from 1951, early 1950. It's a military watch with a moon phase by Angelus. It's a brand that has been revived, but this brand, they do different things now, but they're very beautiful. And imagine this one with a black wristband. It will be a totally different idea.
Totally different.
And then you're right, with just a little touch of something, you can change the look and communicate something a little bit different. As for the Go to Hell pants, personally, I don't want to go to hell, so I pass on this one.
No, but you can try the look if you like.
I'll try, but later.
It's been around a long time, not wearing socks with the shoes, which a lot of people still refuse to do. But that's also a wink to prep ivy. Okay. It's another thing you can do. Also changing up the belt. The braid belt is actually an ivy prep belt, the braided leather. Yeah. Now, some people will even wear a brooch. Okay. Which is just another week, something really toned down and class.
Yes.
All right, so we've covered 5 things. Now, the last part is going to deal with seasonal items.
Yes.
For example, I have 2 things for spring and summer. Everyone's heard of quiet luxury. Okay, maybe we're getting sick of hearing about old money and quiet luxury, but we can say, if you want to bring your look up to date, especially for spring, summer outfits, you can start investing in linen and cotton suits.
Yes.
And that is going to change your life if you don't have summer suiting. And also, it's going to really keep you current. You can get beautiful toned down beiges.
This is so
browns,
true. So true.
Light grays, and different types of really calming colors.
Yeah, I think I witnessed a lot of people who were converted to suiting with linen.
Oh, yes,
or with
that's right.
cotton, but mainly linen. Linen is so easy to wear. It's so easy to, I mean, you can wear it without a tie in some kind of brownish, terracotta, white, off-white. It's always very interesting. And the fact that it wrinkles offsets the formality of it. That is to say, it really looks casual because linen is not neat. It's always a little bit wrinkled, and that's the charm of it. But it's very easy and beautiful with an open white shirt, with a simple, let's say, brown linen for the summer. It's fantastic. Yes. And nobody will talk behind your back. Because it's elegant, but you will never look like a banker from the 80s with a linen suit.
Thank you.
That's for
it.
sure.
That's right. Number 7. The polo shirt. And we're talking about summer. Of course, you can do this in fall and winter too, but it's especially chic in summer to wear a nice, high-quality polo shirt, usually short sleeve in this case, for underneath your jacket or coat, and be able to just give that more light, modernized, up-to-date feel for the mid-2020s. It's going to work, it's going to make you feel at ease, and it's going to make other people feel at ease as well. And we'll show some pictures of a few people.
The key point being on that quality.
Wearing this.
Buy quality polo shirts.
Yes,
because
exactly.
If you don't buy quality polo shirt, they're going to be a little bit tired after one or two wears and one or two times in the washing machine. Buy quality polo shirts in cotton that will really last a long time. And this works very well, specifically in summer, but you can also do something in winter, I suppose. You can put some pullovers or stuff like that.
You know, I'm studying the broad public, and I'm not seeing a lot of the polos in the winter time, but it doesn't mean that you can't do it. But I'm just looking at the current times and what people are wearing. I'm mainly just seeing the summer polos, but it doesn't mean you can't do it,
I was speaking more of a jumper for summer, for winter, or a roll neck.
Yes, and we'll get to that.
Sorry.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so that concludes the general list and the spring-summer list. Let's talk about 5 things you can do for fall and winter. Okay?
Which is the time now. We are mid-January. It's -4 outside, so I'm wearing my heavy wool, and you're wearing a beautiful blazer, which is kind of a mid-season.
This is definitely a wink to ivy.
It's a winter.
Big wink to ivy.
It's beautiful, made by the owners in Prague.
That's
if I remember. Beautiful, I love it.
It's very warm too. It's moon fabric. Okay, so number 1, out of the last 5, actually it's number 8 out of 12. So put on some type of unique outerwear. So wear an outerwear that's not exactly an overcoat, which is the old traditional look. We're talking about all kinds of different options. You know, barber, we know this very well, a sweater.
Yes.
Even the bubble coat, which I'll show you an example of.
A sweater for outerwear? I don't understand.
Yes, I'll show you an example of that. Very nice, very nice. Yes, in fact, Guibo is the one that was wearing a sweater over his jacket.
It's a kind of a cardigan, a very thick one.
Over his jacket.
We call it a cardigan, no?
You can say cardigan. Well, a cardigan's usually a thinner type of fabric, but So another, the big time popular thing right now is the Navajo patterns. Yes. So that's very distinctive, and not a lot of people can wear Indian type patterns and feel good, but that's the style element right now. I'm just talking about just solids right now.
There's something that we see more and more. I've seen it more and more. Is this bubble? How you call it? This?
Yes, the bubble coat. Yeah, the bubble jacket.
Coat, but not that big, like a doudoune we call in front, but a little bit smaller, but made out of wool at the inside, and it looks almost like a suit jacket.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It have this protection, basically, and that's for me the epitome of what we call casual look or discreet luxury. I don't know what you call it.
Quiet luxury.
Quiet luxury. It's something that keeps you warm, but at the same time that is quite chic, or at least not as bulky as a normal coat that you will wear to do some ski, for example.
Well, Sarah Ann Murray, a long time ago, Sarah Ann Murray, who was in Classic Wear a couple of years back and did very well and demonstrating a good way to wear classic style. It's always said, you can't go wrong if you add a little sportiness into your look. And I think that's what we're doing here. I'm sorry for the tailors who maybe want to make more overcoats, but, it is a way to just say, okay, I'm going to forgo the traditional overcoat made by the tailor, and I'm going to go for a little bit of sportiness in different types of outerwear.
A little bit.
Yeah,
because
a little
I
bit,
still
a little
adore
dash.
my tailored coat, which is nothing
yes,
can replace
not
my
knocking
polo
it,
coat.
not
Nothing
knocking
can
it.
replace even my cashmere pea coat, which is
Yes.
a little bit shorter. Nothing can replace it. But you, what you say is also very much linked to the progress of the mills, of the technical fabric.
Good
And
point.
that's linked to
Yes.
what you say.
Very
is
good
that
point.
more and more mills, they understand that the market might not be only in traditional wool, and now they are working towards a new kind of fabric with thermic properties that may very well replace this Canada Goose or this kind. I don't know how you call the Canada Goose. How do you call
Canada
this?
Goose.
No, but how do you
jackets.
call this big thing with like a Canada Goose? Is
A
that
down
name?
jacket, usually.
what?
A down jacket.
Whatever. This thing you take, you're wearing when it's minus 30
Yes.
when you ski.
Yes.
The thing
Goose
is
down.
that I spoke with somebody recently and they say most of the time the Canada Goose and those, that kind of stuff, except if you live in Canada, in Quebec or in Alaska, they're way too warm for you. And this is why this new type of fabric comes and they're a little bit lighter on the skin. They look better.
I understand.
You don't look like you the Michelin bubble man. I don't know what you say that. But at the same time, you're very warm. So that's a very interesting. Once again, 10% of my wardrobe, not more.
Right, I understand. Okay, number 9. What you said, roll necks, turtlenecks. Instead of wearing the button-down shirt with the tie, put on the roll neck or the turtleneck. That's very sophisticated look. I see so much of it. And there's one name I want to mention because all through this episode, you're seeing an example of one Instagram person that has probably inspired me the most. A man named Alberto Cordoba. And I don't
Alberto
know if
Cordoba. So it's probably Spanish.
And that's probably a location in Spain. You think
Yeah,
Cordoba?
is a town. So I don't know if it's his name. It's his Instagram.
Yes. So, kudos to you. And you've covered almost everything, Alberto, that we've discussed today, except maybe one or two items. Really happy to find your account and really happy to follow you.
36,000 followers. I think you made him famous all of a sudden,
Well,
but it's well
I don't
deserved
know.
because
Definitely
he's doing
worth.
a good job.
And if you want to just review everything we've talked about, great account to reference.
Do you remember who tried to convince me that roll neck under a suit will be a good option? You don't remember?
No.
It was Alessandro Sartori, the art director.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
The creative director of Zegna Worldwide
Yes.
is a good friend of us. We recorded a show in Milano with him, I would say 5-6 years ago. And that was his obsession. He said, Hugo, you have to try a roll neck, something a little bit more casual. You will see it will add something in your wardrobe. He will even pushing me to say, try a roll neck with a beautiful linen pant and a blouson. What you, Alessandro Sartori, would see for me, Hugo Jacomet, as a bespoke suit here?
It's a very challenging question, Hugo. But yes, no, I follow you since many years. I follow the work you do, and I have great respect for all your work and your team. But what is really interesting to me is to try to propose something that suits you the same way, or let's say in the same chicness way you wear today, in a different moment. I would really love, if I have a project to do, to think about yourself in sportswear, bespoke sportswear. So a nice blouson or a nice caban, a beautiful, fully fashioned cashmere sweater, a very nice chic pant, and the idea to represent yourself with the same style, but on a different moment of your life. That's my ambition as far as this project.
And I did. And
Yes.
I even have a few pictures of myself for the first time wearing, I think it was a turtleneck.
Yes.
You remember in America? And this picture had a lot of success on Instagram. You don't
Oh yeah,
remember
I think
this
he's
picture?
in one of your. Come here. I think he's in one of your top pictures already. Like it's in the top 3.
She's taking care of me in real time. Okay,
So,
so
okay,
that's a good idea.
Yes. Okay.
Specifically
next.
cashmere. I'm sorry to say.
Specifically, yes.
Sorry
but,
to say.
But
If you
to
have
say-
the wallet, go for cashmere.
it's
You
delicious.
will never regret it, except for the moth.
Yeah, put it in a plastic and spray a little.
Yeah.
What's the spray that we use to keep the
It's
moss
a
away?
cedar
spray.
Yeah, cedar
yes,
spray.
yes.
Yeah, exactly.
It works great.
Cashmere sweater.
You really have to take care of those.
Fantastic.
Okay, we're finished with the first 9 items. We're going to move to number 10 now. This isn't specifically winter. I mean, it can be summer and, spring, fall, winter, but it's tone on tone on tone on tone. And what I mean is you're wearing the same color, but different tones. So you can say a monochrome, but I think that's an overused term. So I would just say tone on tone. Really is going to update your look immediately. I'm going to show a lot of examples so you can begin to see if this is something that will work for you. I want you to try it too.
You mean tone on tone? Give examples.
Like, for example, you're going to wear maybe, let's take a color, green. Maybe you're wearing a mint green cardigan,
I understand. Yeah.
and you're wearing deeper green.
Different shades of green.
Yeah, different shades, exactly.
Yeah. Different shades of gray.
Yeah,
this is more famous. Different shades.
You can go
of,
with up to
blue.
3 different shades of the same color, and this is a really strong way to update your look.
Yeah, that's very modern, and it's very interesting because it has an effect also. It's you look thinner when you do monochromatic, and you look
That's
taller.
a good point. You
and
look
you
taller
look
as well.
taller and thinner. So I agree with you. Different shades of the same color. It's really, I would say, it's in the feeling of the time.
Yes.
Really, and I should do it more, actually.
We're going to give it a try.
Absolutely.
Me as well. I'd like to
the
try
problem I have is that I mostly wear white shirts. So for me, it's difficult to do tone.
You're wearing a lot of blue lately, though.
Blue also,
Yes,
yeah. I can do different shades of blue.
But we're not talking about patterns. We're talking about solids. Solid on solid on solid. But let's give it a try and see what we think.
Specifically, you mean with a shade of green sweater, with a shade of green jacket, and a shade of green pants even? And maybe a shade of green shoes?
Oh, I don't know about the shoes. Okay, you're going a little far.
Oh,
but people get the point. I hope. So next, we're down to the last 2 points. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're in winter and fall. The sweater or the vest underneath the jacket is an element that I really can't stress enough to update your look. And when I say sweater or vest, I'm talking about knitted. Cable knit.
knitwear.
Yeah, a knitwear. Yes. So this is something that I really want to show you some examples of. It's going to immediately uplift your look, and you can go a little bit crazy.
Gorgeous.
You can go a little crazy also with the patterns. You can go the Navajo pattern, or you can go with something more Dutch, or something that's more busy, as long as you keep everything else sober. But you can really add a lot of flair in the knit itself.
My take on that is that I agree 100% with you with a knitted vest or waistcoat. This adds a lot. We call it cardigan in French. It's something you put above the shirt and then under the jacket. When it's knitted, it brings something more modern than when it is. It's the texture.
Yes.
Personally, I would go more solid, but it's just my take on that.
You're conservative with that.
Yeah, I'm very conservative, but only the fact of wearing a knitted waistcoat under a jacket gives you an incredible amount of class while staying extremely modern. So for me, this is something I should do more.
Yes,
actually.
and you can still wear the tie
underneath, of course,
with the shirt. We're talking about everything, not just putting a vest on You wouldn't say a waistcoat.
And when you are in your office, when you drop the jacket, because sometimes you have to drop it, you look good.
You look really good, yes.
Really
and if you want to
good.
go hardcore prep, Ivy, you can tuck in your vest or sweater. But, if you're not into that, just wear it out.
That's Sonya's obsession. She loves prep and Ivy League style. Okay, let's finish with the last point. Yeah.
And this is more cutting edge, okay? This is something that you don't do right now, but it's something at Petit Uomo 105 I saw over and over and over again.
Yes.
Almost in every set of pictures, and that is adding the man purse.
A man purse?
Yes.
You mean...
It can look like a leather tote. It's replacing the old-timey briefcase, from the 80s. Remember when everyone used to carry the briefcase?
I think we call it attaché case. You remember the attaché case?
Yeah, you don't see that anymore.
When I was young, my dad offered me an attaché case, and I look, it was like, click, click. You remember that?
I remember that, yes.
Okay, that was very bulky, etc. But me, I have a leather briefcase. So you're not speaking about briefcase. You're speaking about...
No. But even it looks almost like a purse. You'll see many, many examples that we're going to put up.
Okay.
But you did at least substitute your briefcase with something that looks more like a leather bag. It doesn't really look like the old-timey briefcase
of course not. It's a beautiful one.
Yes. And so people, for a while, men did away with this briefcase because it felt so dated, and they only had their wallet in their pockets. And then they went to more like the leather briefcase like you have.
Even
and now
in the tech industry, they have this train thing they put, this little thing they put above their body. I don't like that
That's
at
like
all.
That's like a fanny pack.
Yeah. What?
It's like a fanny pack.
I don't like that
pack.
at all. I think that you all look the same when you wear this. So you are talking about something you carry in your hand, right?
Yes, you carry it in your hand. And it can look like a tote, or it can look just like it. Actually, some of them look like purses, but with the male element. But there's a male element to most of the ones that I saw. So you be the judge and see what you think.
Okay, you see, we don't agree on everything. This is why this discussion, we should do more, maybe, because, the reality, I didn't know the list before, and sometimes we disagree. But on this last one, of course, I agree with you to have a leather bag with you, maybe. But calling it a purse, it's a little bit difficult to my ears.
I intentionally wanted to say man purse just to shock you a little bit.
Okay.
But when you see it, you can use your own way to describe it. But you'll be the judge, and I bet you eventually you're going to get used to the look and probably end up getting one too.
Well, there's one advantage about that, is that you protect the line of the suit without having anything in your pocket, which is my obsession. Well, we can tell them the truth. Most of the time, I have two problems in life. I'm a little bit, I can easily lose something, my keys, my credit cards, my wallet. So I always ask Sonya to keep my wallet in her purse, actually.
Yes, that's right.
And the second thing is that I have an allergy. I have asthmatic allergy. I have asthma, specifically in the summer when there's some pollen around. So I always carry with me a spray of albuterol. And this is a catastrophe in the pockets. And so I always use my wife's purse to carry my stuff.
I'm so excited that you're going to get a man purse, because now I can give you my items to carry. I can be free.
Well, the only thing actually, we can do this. Why? Because we are always together.
That's
we
true.
are 24/7 together. 24/7, literally together constantly. We do everything together. So it's possible for us, because I bought her a very beautiful purse that I'm still finishing to pay to this day.
We paid that.
I'm just kidding. So whatever. But yes, I'm not convinced at the last one, but let's give it a try and
see what happens.
How it looks.
See what happens. So to recap,
yes,
we have the separates. We have signature eyeglasses.
Yes.
We have bulk to the shoes,
yes,
to the sole of the shoes.
Yes.
We have the cap.
Yes.
We have a wink to Ivy or Prep, something small but strong. And we have summertime linen cotton quiet luxury suits, polo shirts, quality polo shirts.
Yes.
For fall winter, we have outerwear, roll necks,
yes,
tone on tone on tone.
Yes.
Don't forget the sweater and vests and a knit. And finally, the man purse. Did you see anything that you might want to try? I think that if you just give it a go, some of these things are going to put you more at ease, make you feel more current with the times. And I think these things will be good for at least another decade or so to really bring you to a place where you want to wear your suits more and enjoy them when you do wear them.
That's a great list, darling. I must say that even if I don't agree with everything, I agree with 80%, but it gave me a lot of inspiration. And this is also the spirit of the Sartorial Talk. Thank you, darling. That was a wonderful show with you. And you know what? I'm enjoying so much myself when we are together. We should do more. Okay, can we commit ourselves to do more in the future?
As you please, sure.
Well, if you like it, just let us know.
Maybe you lead next time.
Well, I can lead next time. Actually, this is my most comfortable position, not to lead and to react, because for me, I'm just enjoying myself. Tell us in the comments if you would like to see us more often together, because she's doing solo shows.
Well, no one's going to say no.
Well, I mean, you are doing shows by yourself. I'm doing shows by myself.
That's true.
Do you like when we are together? I guess yet, but let's confirm it. And we give you an appointment to
the next edition of Sartorial Talks. So until then, thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Ciao, darling.
Ciao.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.